see here, guys and gals. Well, twice a year around here, across the park from where we live, there's a small carnival that comes and sets itself up. It's really small right now. I can see they haven't put like the extra games over there, but I guess they will. They usually come, that's right what they say, from the 7th of September more is coming. So right now there's just the, I guess where the carnies are living. So there's not much for the moment. As you can see, there's just the bumper cars and these things, really a minimum. And there's always over there the churros, some kind of like donuts, Spanish type of donuts. Yeah, so I guess there's going to be more to show you next week, so I won't get too much into the detail of it right now. Anyway, so that's all for now. And I guess I'll be back in a bit, but actually I think there's not really much to show you for the moment. I was hoping to see a little bit more, probably from next week on. Okay, that'll be it. DC signing off for a second, and I'll be right back. Okay, so it's DC, I'm back. Yeah, well, actually I was going to show you what was in the carnival. I just showed like a few, well, you can see it in the background. But that is about it. Usually there's more games, but they said something like by next week, they're gonna set up the other ones. Now it's just, I guess they're just trying to get the crowds. Yeah, around Easter and in September, they always come over. You know, they basically, I guess, they try and get the last bit of warm weather. Yeah. So let's see what's going on. Well, yesterday we had my daughter-in-law's family from Spain. Some of them were over, so we were at their place, and it was interesting. And as far as I was concerned, a little bit frustrating, because I've been studying Spanish for, well, close to a year now. And I can understand it pretty well, actually. I can read it, not bad. But I haven't had many chances to do conversations. Like my daughter-in-law speaks French, and she was brought up here. And basically, they don't use Spanish that much at home. I can see that she understands it and all that, but she rarely, if ever, uses it. And so I don't get to practice speaking. So I thought, well, if I understand it and I'm able to read it, wow, pretty much bombed out. I was able, to get a few simple sentences in there, but somehow, like the flow of conversation was not there yet. It was something strange, though. I mean, I learned German here. And German is pretty easy to learn in a way. It's not an easy language. But if you speak in English and think in English, you move to German quite quickly. With Spanish, it's a little bit more using French as your base. So that's okay as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I can speak French. But all the learning programs that I have are actually in English. So it's amusing because sometimes, for example, counting and stuff, I can do it in Spanish, but, I use French, the way the French count, as a base for that. So it was, like I say, a bit frustrating because I saw that I am not at all able to communicate with the fluency that I was hoping, put it that way. So what I'm going to be doing now, and that is with an app. It's called Babbel. It's the one I use. I use Duolingo a little bit, but I mostly use Babbel. B-A-B-B-E-L. There's more grammar in there. But they had a special out. It was like for what they call live classes. So unlimited for 1 year. And the live classes are you're up to a maximum of 6 people. It's a Zoom session. And basically you've got the material, you know what you're going to be learning. So I've actually set myself up for 1 year of the live classes. I've got my first one tomorrow, and I didn't realize at what time it was at first. It's at 7 in the morning. So yeah, it's going to be an early class. I am looking forward to it and apprehensive at the same time, because when I saw how it went yesterday, I thought, wow. So I took a rather low level class. I hope I didn't put it too high nevertheless, but we'll see anyway. It's the experience. I mean, if I see it's an hour long, so if it's too much for me, I'll put it at a lower level and just kind of like move up that way. So like I say, I've got a year, and I got it at my goodness, at maybe, what was it, 40%, no, 60% off. Now, you know, those things, I kind of smile because there always seems to be a cut rate at one point or another, but we'll see. Anyway, like I say, it'll be amusing to see how it goes. I don't know, you know, it's part of my retirement goals, you know, to learn a few languages. Amusing in a way, because actually when you think about it, I will not have the means anyway to travel, you know, to use those languages in other situations. So maybe I'll go to Spain. One reason I took Spanish was because my daughter-in-law is from a Spanish family, and when they go to Spain, well, then that way I'll be going maybe with them at one time or another. So I was hoping to be able to communicate. So maybe I will when the time comes. We'll see. The other language I wouldn't mind learning is Italian, actually. As over in the southern part of Switzerland, it's the Swiss-Italian part. But the thing is, because it's in Switzerland, you can quite easily get along over there, very easily even, if you speak German, especially. I mean, so since I speak French and German, it's okay, and English is like kind of like the international lingua franca. So we'll see. Yesterday was amusing because there was an aunt and 3 cousins. No, sorry, the grandmother of 3 kids that were there, but basically there's like the second generation cousins, and they all spoke pretty good English, not bad English actually. So we were kind of like using Spanish words and English and getting along. Actually, we're communicating very well finally, and it was fun. But I could see like they were telling me the same thing, like they were struggling over here with either French or German, but since they could, you know, get along actually quite well with English, they were saying that traveling, you know, and finally in Switzerland was no problem. They've been traveling by train, and yeah. So anyway, it's kind of interesting also because a few years back, those of you who are maybe my age would remember, it still exists, but there was a language that had been developed or invented from scratch called, was it Esperanto, yeah. And it kind of resembled Spanish. I even knew people that became actually quite fluent in it, because the whole idea behind that was that it was going to become like the international, the international language that everybody could speak, and it didn't have to, it was a political thing as well. It was not going to be, you know, it wasn't going to be English, especially it wasn't going to be English. It wasn't going to be French, and so on. Well, I mean, the language still exists. But frankly, English has become like the world language, even though, I mean, if you look at the population in the world, there'd be other languages that would probably be more suited, but because of the business side of things and, in a way, the ease of learning English has become really the international language. Oh, 8 minutes and some on. So I guess that'll be all for my Sunday vlog. Just kind of like walking around and a little chat. Okay, so DC signing off. Take care, everybody, and hope you have a good Sunday. Bye-bye.